Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the one, the only dude. This is going to be one of my first videos I make on this channel. This is my second video. And I wanted to make this video because I know that when I first started that I had a lot of questions and I wondered that how can I trade crypto, right? I thought, how can I trade crypto? What exchange can I use? What's the best exchange? How do I trade? How do I place trades? And all of these things. And I would try to find videos on it. People explain things horribly. They suck at it. They overcomplicate things. They try to sound smart when really they're actually, they're just not that smart. But yeah, so I just want to make this quick video and make this a tutorial on how to use Bitget. Now this tutorial is primarily just for Bitget and how to use Bitget to trade crypto, Bitcoin, and stuff like that. So let's get into it. I'm going to try to make this video quick. If you guys want videos on trades and technical analysis and stuff like that, let me know. I will be happy to do so. But yeah, so basically what we have here is we are on Bitget. We are on Bitget.com. Now I do need to let you guys know Bitget is, you are allowed to trade crypto in the United States. You don't need an IP, you don't need a VPN to mask your IP to a different location. So it's free to trade in the United States without getting your account locked or your funds locked. But yeah, so let's get into it. First, you guys want to make an account, of course. Now let's actually just get to the point. So over here, right over here, we have all of the coins available to trade. So we have Bitcoin, we have all of these other coins. Now they always add new ones, I think every 2 weeks or something like that. But yeah, so typically you would, if you want to trade Bitcoin or Ethereum, you can either go here and you can type Ethereum, and then after that you can choose it, or BTC. We are currently on Bitcoin. Now when you find, so let's say we did some analysis and let's actually go to Bitcoin right here. All right, so let's say for whatever reason, now there's really no reason to really, I mean, we can say we would long this thing, but really with the market and everything going on, it's technically bearish. But yeah, so we have a divergence here. We have lower volume coming in from sellers, so we can say that we wanted to long this, right? So let's say we go back here, and let's say we want to long it. So basically what we would do is, let's say we want to long it once it gets down to this Fibonacci line right here, just this green one, 22,520. Now what we can do is we have a couple options. We can do a limit order or we can do a market order. Now these are the ones that you will be using. Now with the limit order, what we will do is, let's say we did our analysis, we wanted to long it at 22,534. All right, 22,534. 1 second. We would go over here to limit order. We would click on limit. We would go here and we would type in the number that we would want to enter at. I even forgot the number. Let's see, 22,520. Let's just put 22,520. Okay, so easy. I keep clicking on wrong tabs. Okay, 22,520. All right, so we put this limit order in. All right, we would then choose how much we want to put inside of this trade. Now, do you see right here, down here, it shows cost. Now Bitget goes by USDT. So USDT, look at it as like, it's like your dollar. So let's say you only have $100. Well, this will be 100 USDT, which is Tether. Sorry, I'm stuttering. So yeah, so that's how we would do that. So we would just, put whatever amount we want to put in. I only have $4 in here. Before I took out all my funds. I don't really trade crypto that much anymore. I do primarily stocks. But yeah, so basically we would put our limit order here. We would put the amount we wanted, and then after that we would click, we want to go buy long, so we would do buy long, and after that we would hit confirm. Okay, we can also go here. Okay, we can take profit, stop loss. What we can do is, let's say we want to enter this trade once it gets down to $22,520. So as soon as it gets down around right here, we would want to get in, right? But now, let's say my stop loss, I would want my stop loss to be right here. Let's say I would put my stop loss here. Now this is not a good stop loss. There's really no analysis going on here. We're just taking an example here. So let's say we want to take our stop loss to 22,300. All right, we would go here. We would say we would want to exit this trade at 22,300, and then our take profit, we believe, for example, is going to go up to this red line. this is horrible analysis, by the way. 23,440. All right, so we would put 23,440. We would want to exit that trade. And take our profits. Now we have over here, you see right here, there's isolated, there's long and short. Now what we do is we pick isolated, never pick cross. It really is really up to you. There's really no need to pick cross. When you pick isolated, it means basically the amount you put inside of the trade is the only amount you're willing to lose. If you do cross, well, it'll take the amount that you're willing to lose, and then on top of that, it'll take funds out of your entire account overall if you did not have a stop loss. So you always want to do isolated. Now, if you guys notice, if we go to another coin, do you see how it's isolated? Well, every single coin here is isolated because I had to manually do that. They have it on cross as default. You would need to go and put everything as isolated. You don't want by accident to go in and have it as cross and then lose your funds if you don't have a stop loss. So basically we have here, so we have long and we have short. Now this is just leverage. So if I put $100 and I did 10 leverage, that'll be 1,000, right? But it's just like that. Now typically with Bitcoin, I trade anywhere between 15 to 50 leverage. Sometimes I go up to 100 leverage. It's very rare. But typically like on altcoins, some of them can only go up to 20 leverage. I trade 20 leverage on altcoins or 10. I never go lower than 10, but guys, I'm experienced. I'm an experienced trader. So for me, I know what I'm doing. But as a beginner, if you guys are a beginner, which I assume you guys are, you guys want to start with, I would say, honestly, man, I would say start with 10 leverage. I would say start with 10 leverage, but use your stop losses. Now, you will lose a lot of money if you're a beginner, but typically, I mean, I don't know. That's me personally, what I recommend. But you guys can start with 5, but you guys won't be really seeing nice profits. Now, basically, we have our limit order, we have our take profit, and we have our stop loss. Then we click buy long, and then after that, that limit order would be waiting over here until Bitcoin price were to come down and get us filled. Now, what we can do is we can add multiple limit orders. So let's say we wanted to get filled over here at 520, then we want to get filled over here at 440, at 22,440. What we would do is we would send this one in, we would hit submit. It'll be waiting down there until it gets there. But then we can also go ahead and put another limit order, and we would put different prices, and we would leave the take profit same. And if you wanted to, you can change your stop loss, or you can have your stop loss stay down there. Now keep in mind, so if we wanted to get filled over here at 520, and after that we wanted to have an order over here at 405, and let's say we wanted to have an order here at, let's say, 355, and then we wanted to have our stop loss, let's say, at 22,200. Well, every time you get filled, your entry price would be going down and down. So you'll be having a better entry price. So when your stop loss gets hit, it won't really be hit with a big loss. But your amount in the trade would be higher, meaning that if you had, let's say, a 20% loss of 2,000, that'll be higher than that'll be a bigger loss than having a 20% loss on, let's say, $500. So just keep that in mind. But typically, you would want to put bigger amounts lower for lower entries if price were to go down there and hit those before they go up. So that your higher amounts placed lower as well would then outweigh your first limit order to give you a better entry price. It's a bit confusing, but just remember that. That doesn't mean you put the lowest amount on your first entry, then second entry you put bigger amount. Just put whatever you're willing to do. So let's say you have $2,000. You want to get into this trade. You want to have your first entry at 22,500. You, let's say, put $500 in that. Then let's say on the second entry, if it went down to 22,450, you would put, let's say, 700. And then on the third entry, you know, it really depends on your taste. If you want to put 1,000 and then put another 1,000, that'll keep your entry right in the middle. So if you got filled at 22,500, then you put another 1,000, which was your last 1,000, at 22,400, you would get filled. Your entry would be in between 22,450 in between, because it's the same amount. It's a little bit confusing, but over time you guys will understand what I was trying to say when you guys trade. So yeah, so you have limit orders. Now limit orders is, I would prefer limit orders because let's say you saw something, and let's say we wanted to long Bitcoin when it got up to this gray line, right? let's say we want to short it, and you know it'll dump there, right? For example, you can just put your limit order in. Now you can have market orders as well. So market orders means that you will get in instantly. So if I put this order right here, this wouldn't really make sense. So I would go to market and I would put the amount I'm willing to put in. I'll put my take profit, stop loss, and then get in. Typically, you wouldn't really have time to put your stop loss and take profit once you're in. Once you do a market order, because market orders is like when you are about to miss your opportunity and you want to get in. So yeah, so that's market orders. Now, once you're inside, let's say you didn't put your take profit or stop loss, and once you're inside of the trade, over here there would be it basically shows all the details of your entry, your trade, how much you have in. You can go over here and click light entry, and that'll show you. Let me just put some money in here. All right, so let me actually just go and do market order. I just want to show you guys how it looks. So we're in. So you see how we just got in right there? So it'll show over here. It'll show how much leverage you put in right here, right? It'll show your entry price, how much money you have in, which is $1.5, basically $1.50, and then some like cents, right? It'll show your liquidation. Now your liquidation is a price that, if it were to reach that price, you would lose your entire amount of whatever you have in. So 22,400 would be somewhere around here, right? 22,444, around right here. So if it were to hit there, I would lose all my money, okay? But what we would want to do to avoid that is we would go down here. So let's say you forgot to put a stop loss or take profits, or you just didn't want to just yet, you want to get filled and do it. You would just go right here, you click stop loss. You click I understand, then you'll put your stop loss. Let's say my stop loss is 22,500, right? It'll tell me right here, I'm gonna lose 25%. And then I would put this, I would put it all the way up, meaning that I want to sell all of my contracts. So as you guys can see right here, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but right here it says position 0.001. I wanna sell all of that if Bitcoin price were to fall to 22,500 against me. Then I would hit confirm. It'll let me know again, and it's going to do a market order for that. It's not going to do a limit order. Then after you would hit confirm. And then it will show your open orders, your working orders right over here. You'll go click on that. Then after you'll click on take profit and stop loss order. It'll be right here. You'll click on that, and then after that you can edit it, or you can just cancel it over here. Also, if you guys can see, you have right here limit orders. So let's say I did not. Let's actually go right here, and let me show you this example. Let's say I wanted to get filled on Bitcoin once it went to 22,900, and I wanted to short it as a limit order. So if Bitcoin were to get up there, do you see how that order is waiting? There's like an X near it. That means it's working. It's a working order. So we go here to open orders. We can see that this limit order is now working. So if Bitcoin were to go to 22,900, it'll fill me as a short. Now the cool thing about Bitget is you can have a long position and a short position open at the same time. Other exchanges do not have that. Other exchanges, you can only have one position open. For example, I can only be long, but if I open the short, then it'll close out my position or take my profits, right? Let's say I wanted to short something, and then I wanted to long it. Guess what would happen? If I were to long it, it'll take out all of my profits or all of my losses, whatever the scenario was, whether I was in profit or loss. So just keep that in mind. Now, if we go here, we're just going to cancel this. So over here, you have the information. You have your position of how many contracts you have in, and then with the leverage times 15 shows that I have this much in, right? And then you have what else? Okay, so you have how much you're down or up over here. Unrealized is the amount that is not realized. So I did not take it out. Once I were to sell all my position, this will become realized, meaning it'll become in my account. Over here shows the percent wise of how much you're down. This is very important. You guys want to look at things percent wise. You guys don't want to look at it as I'm up $50. No, you guys want to look at it as I'm up, let's say 50% or 80%. Or 200%. You guys want to keep that in mind, because being up 10% or 15% is not a big deal. That's so easy to get. Typically, you want to go for 80% and up. Let's say 150%, 120% profit of whatever you have in. So just keep that in mind. You always want to go after percent. You don't want to look at really this whole thing and get blinded by that. You just want to really look at it as percent wise, okay, as profit. So yeah, so that's that. And then over here, you can increase the amount. This is technically useless. I do not use this. I haven't used it on Bitget. I use it on Femix and Bybit, and those are garbage. It just basically increases your amount physically over here, but it does not like switch your entry or do anything like that, and it does not even change how much profit you make. So if you guys ever want to add to your position, you would just add over here as a limit order or market order. But remember, once you're already in a trade, so let's say I entered right here, right? Let's say my entry was $22,870. So let's say I entered, so let's say this went up all the way up to 23,550, right? And then I put a limit order for that. Guess what would happen as a long? My entry would then move from down here, which I had a better entry. If price went up to here, and I did a long again, my entry would then move halfway down here. So now if Bitcoin were to drop over here, then I will start being negative. So that's why you guys want to, like, you always want to add to your position when it's at a perfect location or price, instead of like adding later on at a horrible entry. Okay. So yeah, so that's that. If you go over here, you can click light version. Once you click light version, it basically sums up everything here. It basically sums it up like this. So basically you'll see your open price, your entry price, basically how many contracts you have. And I like to say contracts because I'm used to that, positions, and it's just confusing that way. And then the amount of money you have in, and then your unrealized profit, and then your liquidation price. But keep in mind, you guys always want to look at percent wise, okay? And then over here you can add a take profit. So let's say I want to add a take profit. Let's say I want to add a take profit at 23,800, right? That'll mean I'll get a 60% gain. I'll make 60% profit on my $1.50. So if I were to go here and put the amount of contracts, it'll show the amount of contracts I'm selling. My expected return on 60% of $1.50 is 92 cents. See? So yeah, so that's that. And then yeah, trailing stop, you really don't want to look at that. Okay, so now let's say I want to close this trade. Okay, so now there's actually two things. We can go here, right? We can go to want to sell at 870. Right, 870. I want to sell 0.01. Okay, I can't really sell anything because of the amount I have in. But typically over here, what you can do is you can basically put an amount that you're willing to sell at. Then after that, you put the price you're willing to sell. Oh, look at that. You can even sell, let's say I want to sell 50%. Or let's say 25%. I can click close. It'll only sell 25% of my amount that I have in of $1.50. And then it'll have the other amount going on. Now that's very important, because sometimes you want to start taking, because many times you want to take profits as you are right in your direction of predicting the market. So before it starts reversing on you, right? So so let's say I predict it's going to go up to 23,629. Now I'm switching numbers up, but you guys, I hope you guys get the gist of what I'm trying to say. I would then take profit. Let's say I want to take 25% profit once it gets here, and then I would take that out. Then I'll have the other remaining until it reaches my target up here. Let's say, for example, right? You at least take some profits so that if it were to reverse on you, you do not leave with nothing. You do not leave with a loss. You at least leave with a profit. So that's good to have. You have over here reversal. Now what reversal does is this basically, so we are long, right? So long means we are betting on Bitcoin going up, right? Basically we're bullish. If we were to click reversal, it'll basically switch the entire trade to shorting. So let's say I click reversal. Okay, I want to do all the contracts. Okay, it'll switch me short. Now I'm short 50 leverage. Now I want to switch back to long. I switch back to long. You see, it'll charge you a little fee too as well. So that's the whole point of reversal. Now you have flash close. Now flash close is basically you closing out your entire position at market price. So let's say I want to exit this trade right now, and I got what I wanted. I wanted to lose. I wanted to make see a switch. I want to lose literally a penny, right? I would click flash close. I would exit this trade, confirm. It closes me out of the trade. It gets me filled. See how it filled me really quick? So Then you go to order history. It'll show your history of you closing your position. You have your fund record, your order details. So it shows how many contracts you had, what you sold at, and how you exited the trade. And then it shows your fee. And also, guys, I forgot to mention this in the video, so I'm mentioning it now. You guys want to go over here on Bitget, and you guys see cost value right over here. Click on USDT, and what you want to do is you want to click cost value. Cost value, what it means is that anytime you put an amount inside of a trade, it shows the entire amount you actually put in. So let's say I put in $1,000, it'll show $1,000. Let's say I put another $500 into the trade, it'll show my balance as $1,500 in the trade. A quantity unit and normal nominal value, do not use them, guys. Use cost value. That's what Femex and Bitget and all the other exchanges primarily how they use their default thing. So you guys just want to use cost value. It's what I use, and I recommend you guys to use it as well. All right, so yeah, so that's that. Now let's see, what else do I want to go over? Now over here, so you have effective time. Now this means good till canceled. Now good till canceled, this is what you want to have it on. Basically your trade will never close on its own. It will never like exit out of the trade until you exit it, or until your stop loss or take profit gets hit. Now so yeah, so that's that. Yeah, I mean, those are really the most important things that you need. Over here, so basically we close the trade from here, right? We click flash close, but there's a way that you can close it from here as well. But yeah, so that's that. So we basically went over Bitget. Guys, oh, okay, so over here, so this is the order book. It basically shows right here. So let's say right here, for example, a lot of people are going long. Do you see all these blue or green trades right here? So these are people going long. Someone put you know, so these are the amount of contracts they have in. There's more longs coming in than the bears, right? So this shows you really it's basically like, you can say it's like level 2 on the stock market, right? The level 2 data. So you can say it's like that. But yeah, so you have that. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Now I want to go over another thing about Bitget. What's so cool about it? Now, if you guys are starting, I use Femex a lot. I use Bitget, but I primarily stick with Femex. Then I made the switch to Bitget. I recommend anyone to trade Bitget, because Bitget, what it does is when you get filled, you get okay. When you have a stop loss, right? You have a stop loss. You say, okay, if this gets hit, I'm willing to lose this amount, right? So let's say, for example, I had, let's say, 5 grand in a trade, and I put my stop loss. It lets me know how much I will lose percent-wise if my stop loss were to get hit. So let's say that number percent-wise was 50%. So for my 5 grand, if my stop loss got hit, I would lose 50%, right? So I would lose $2,500. Now, it would go up, it would hit my stop loss, and then once it hits my stop loss, I would have a loss of 4,000. Now, how does that make sense? Why did I lose more than 50% than what I was willing to lose when my stop loss get hit? Now, that's because of Femex. Now, Femex is it's kind of like a trash. It's really good. I like them a lot, but at the same time, they get you filled at horrible prices, and then you lose a lot more money. On Bitget, on the other hand, when you have a stop loss, and then you say, okay, you put your number where you want to get where you would have your stop loss. If it gets hit, you lose that amount. Now, on Bitget, when it hits your stop loss, you actually lose that amount, and sometimes it doesn't even lose you 50%. It makes you lose 49%. So Bitget gets you filled like perfectly. It's fair. Femex, like many times you would have a stop loss, it'll have you lose more money than what you're willing to lose. Same thing with take profit. Sometimes you'll have a take profit. If it hits this target, you would make, let's say, 80%, right? 80% return. Well, net profit would get hit. You'll only have, like, let's say 70%, right? So Bitget, on the other hand, you have a take profit, you have a stop loss. It literally fills you at like a very good fill. your stop loss, you get exactly what you were willing to lose. There's no games, there's no things behind the scenes messing with you. So just keep that in mind. That's why I made the big switch to Bitget. Now, if you guys want a tutorial on Phemex, I can make a video on Phemex and show you guys, and make a tutorial for you guys on Phemex. Phemex, I like Phemex AI more. I like their UI more. It's a lot easier to look at, a lot nicer to look at, and in my opinion, it's actually a lot easier. But with Bitget, it's actually easy too. It's actually easier, but you would have to really get used to it. But Phemex is really easy for a beginner if they want to get started. If you guys want me to make a video on Phemex, a tutorial on how to use it, let me know, and I will be happy to do that for you guys. For I know, there's a lot of people who make videos on tutorials and stuff, but they don't really show anything. They just act like they know what they're talking about when really they don't know crap. What we're gonna do also is I want to show you guys something. So I want to show you guys on Bitget. What you have is you also have simulated trading. So if you go here, let's say we go to USDT demo, what that would do is that would have you, let's say, practice on here, right? So let's say I want to practice. I just signed up, I made an account. They would give you $3,000 USDT. Now I only have 1,700 in here, but basically they would give you an amount to practice trading on, right? So basically you would come on here, and after that you can just practice using the platform. You can put limit orders, you can put market orders, you can do really anything you want. But yeah, so that's just another thing. So if you guys want to use Bitget, you guys can use the demo as well. And another cool thing about Bitget is it actually shows you the number here of how if the bulls are controlling it or if the bears are controlling the market. So it kind of shows you that visual right there. But yeah, again, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. And if you guys want more videos like this, let me know. I'm not a tutorial channel. I don't do videos like this. I'm just making this to help people who struggle and who want to learn how to use the exchanges to trade crypto. I don't even plan to make YouTube videos. But if you guys want videos on technical analysis, if you guys want videos on trades and what to trade and stuff like that, let me know, and we can make videos on the stock market and crypto market and Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these things. But yeah, comment, leave a like, subscribe.